Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a faux acrylic pour with polymer clay. So we're going to make a pair of earrings. You'll have already seen them. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to start out with some white polymer clay. I'm using souffle today because it's got a nice texture to it and I want it to kind of have a matte finish. And I've rolled this out on my thickest setting, or about 2 to 3 millimeters thick. Okay. Then you're also going to want your choice of colours. You'll have already seen what colours I'm using in the supplies list, but these are all souffle again. And these will run out on the thinnest setting, so it's definitely less than a millimeter thick. You want to get them as thin as you possibly can. That's just it just works best that way. Okay, so I'm just going to put these to the side here where you can see them. Okay, because I want to be able to slot the white in there. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do, actually we can put that to the side, we're not going to use that for the moment. I want you to grab some circle cutters, just so long as they're mini, that will work. I'm going to start out with the biggest one, and this is going to be your base colour, and I quite like this green, and I'm going to do two because we're making earrings, so I want them to mirror each other. So just grab those circles, put those to the side so you can see those there. Then I'm going to go one cutter down, and that will be a red, I think. Okay. And you don't have to use Primo, you can use any colour you want. You don't have to use souffle, you can use any brand that you're comfortable with. Okay, lift that up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab those and just make sure that they have relatively clean edges, because sometimes they can have almost like this fuzzing around the edge. And I want you to press along the sides of your green circle, and I'm only going to do it with one, but you would do it with the other one as well. Just kind of stretching it out and getting it to not look so circular. Grab your next one and then do the same. Press along the outside like so. Then you'll go one circle down again, and you will repeat the process until you have all the colours you want, or until you run out of circles essentially. Then when I've run out of the mini circles, I'm going to bring over some micro circles, and I'll see how many I can get away with. And you'll just kind of repeat that process, and everything I'm doing with this one you would repeat with another one. Okay, and then when you're done, just lift that up off the tile, and then I'm just going to give it a little stretch just to kind of get them round and to make them about the same size, because sometimes they're not quite the same size as each other. Okay, and then I'll just bring over some deli paper, and I'm just going to burnish this because we will have a lot of fingerprints on this after we're done, and this is just to get rid of those. So just give that a quick burnish. It's also to kind of semi-even it out as well. There we go, and that's much better. Okay, then lift those up and just crop them to the side for the moment. Okay. And then I'll bring over our white clay. And then you're going to want a cutter of your choice. I'm going to be using one of my fat ovals, but any cutter will work for this. Let's see, let me just get the right size. Here we go. So this is about the size that I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm very gently going to mark the clay just so that I have an outline to work with. Then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to overlay it like so. And I'll do the same on the side. Just overlay it like so. Then grab your daily paper and burnish thoroughly. Okay, and that's how they should look. Then I went and made 2 smaller pieces because I thought that just this on its own looked a little bit boring, but with the 2 of them it looks quite nice. So I'm just gonna put that roughly in the same place. Okay, then burnish again. Right, then when that's done, I want you to just position your cutter in a spot that you like. Just smoothing out a spot there. And I quite like there. And I want you to cut down. And that will be your earring. Then do the same on the other side. There we go. And we'll lift those up. And there are our 2 earrings. So now you're going to bake that fully for an hour at souffle's recommended temperature. And just before we do that, I'm just going to burnish this back down here. And I'm going to grab one of our largest circle cutters. Let me just bring it over. So I'll just see which one I like the size of. This one I like the best. And I'm just going to cut 2 white circles because that I want to put above these pieces. Then you're going to bake that for a full hour at souffle's recommended temperature, and then when it's done I'll show you how to assemble. Okay, and here they are out of the oven. Now if you need to, you can go and run over the sides, front and back with some sandpaper to clear up any imperfections that you might see. So just to keep that in mind. So what I want to do now is I just want to bring out the colour a little bit by popping some Renaissance wax on. This is not necessary because we don't have any mixed media, paints, mica powders, things like that, that need to be sealed. This is just simply so that we can get a nice finish on it. And I'll only do that on the front where there's colour. Like so. Okay, now you can see it has a light sheen to it. So now I want you to decide whether you want to drill the top from the large piece or the top from the small piece. Personally, I'm going to be drilling from the large part, and I'm actually going to drill it this way around because patterns usually make me drill in the wrong spot because it affects my eye. So I find it easier to drill from the back where it's a solid colour rather than trying to pinpoint what the middle is from the front. Then you'll drill the other one like so, and then you'll also drill 2 holes in each of these. Okay, then when you're done drilling, just grab some jump rings and assemble your piece like so. Very easy. And keep in mind that the colours I used today are my preferred colours for this technique. You can use any colours you want, so feel free to play around with that. Also, don't have to use souffle, you can use any colour you want, any brand of clay you want to use there as well. So just bear that in mind. Also, before I forget, because I always do, the tools used in this tutorial, so specifically the cutters, are 20% off on my Etsy store at the moment for 24 hours after this video drops publicly on YouTube. So if you're interested in the tools that I used, please do check out my Etsy store. It's linked down below in the description. So that's basically it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below, and if you have requests for future tutorials, also let me know. I'm always interested to hear that. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.